Okay, we have this delightful fic where June comes out to Carcat. I'm so excited. I kind of want to be Carcat since Janai is being June.
I want
Yes.
to be the narrator.
Okay.
Yay! There's
Yeah.
also a few Dave lines at the
Yeah,
end.
Jojo, you wanna? Jojo had a Dave Ask blog for a bit there. You had a good,
Yeah.
Oh,
little,
yeah,
cute
you
little Dave Ask
did.
blog.
You do have a good Dave
It was
voice.
great.
You do have a good
Thank
Dave
you.
voice.
Okay,
Dave.
All right. You're Dave.
All right.
Nice.
let's get started.
Do it.
You're Dave.
You are Dave.
Oh shit.
You are Dave Strider. This is a terrible plan. Your name is recently June Egbert, and those words echo in your head as you struggle to fit down the chimney of the Vantage Strider household. At times, your entire life has felt like a series of terrible plans. Playing suburb for your friends, retconning the timeline for Terezi, even whatever the hell Vriska had you doing. All of those old yous were just an iron in the fire for someone else more ambitious. This is a terrible plan. You repeat to yourself like a Zen master's mantra as you attempt to use the windy thing to push yourself down the chimney. The wind comes out stronger than you wanted, dislodging a brick that bonks you on the head as you finally push yourself down in the Casa. Sorry. Casa del Night Bros. This is a terrible plan. You smile at the thought as you rub the sore spot on the back of your head. You're still smiling as you brush the ash off yourself in someone else's living room. You smile because, unlike all of the times before, this is your terrible plan, and it's gonna go great. You make your way into the living room, where the troll you are looking for is seated on the couch with a bowl of popcorn. He appears to be watching the troll Tom Hanks romantic comedy, You've Got Mail, by himself.
Hey, Carcat.
Popcorn flies everywhere as the night of blood flails wildly, doing some kind of triple what the fuck is a Sao Chow? Hold on. I need to look
Skating,
what
Search
jump.
DuckDuckGo for Sal Chow. The Sal Chow jump is an edge jump in figure skating. It was named after its inventor, Ulrich Salchow, in 1909. The Salchow is accomplished with a takeoff from the back inside edge of one foot and landing on the back outside edge of the opposite foot.
Neat.
Footnotes.
Huh, interesting.
Literally.
Wait, is it in the
Baps you.
footnotes?
No,
No,
it's a
but
footnote.
It's a pun.
I was
Oh,
making
it's a
up.
footnote. Ha, 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 ha. I need to refind my spot.
When the cloud.
Sorry, I'm like
Sal
scrolling
Cow.
all the way back
No,
up.
you're good. You're good.
Popcorn flies everywhere as the night of blood flails wildly, doing some kind of triple Sao Chow off the handle at the sudden noise. When the cloud of salt and butter clears, Carcat is staring mouth agape at his unexpected guest. You continue to pretend that people don't get mad at you when you when you break into their homes as you address your longtime friend.
How's it going, bud?
Oh, no, you don't. You don't just zap into my locked respite block uninvited after not talking to me for literal sweeps and call me your bud like nothing happened. You got some fucking explaining to do, Egbert.
You can feel all that bravado you had built up starting to collapse. Of course, you don't deserve to talk to your friends after the way you've treated them by, not talking to them. You wonder if your inner monologue knows how dumb it sounds. Man, anxiety sucks.
Oh, I can, come back later if that works better for you. Yeah, this was a bad idea. I'll just go.
John, wait. You scared me, that's all. I was looking forward to having a little more alone time today, but I can always clear my schedule for you.
The courage you once had comes seeping back into you. The conditions are perfect. He's alone, which means you timed this well. Rosalind is perhaps the only person who can pull Dave away from Carcat, and it just so happens it is her birthday today. She wanted a beta kid get-together that you feel like a dirtbag for missing out on, but you can't show your face to them. Not yet. You return your attention to the task at hand.
Really? That means a lot, Carcat.
Listen, John, you're my friends. No amount of moping around in your house all day for 5 years and never replying to texts or attending group events is gonna change that. And if you showed up unannounced after all this time, it can only mean one thing.
You gulp. As terrible as your plan is, you need to go through with it. And it absolutely does not involve getting found out before you can say what you want to say. But you've been careful. There's no way he knows yet. Unshaken, you continue to bluff.
And that would be.
You need my advice. Well, take a seat, Egbert. You're hardly the first to darken my door in your time of need. I know matters of the heart can be delicate, so please take your time and.
Oh my god. The sheer volume of your laugh catches your troll friend off guard. He shoots you a dirty look as he covers his ears.
I'm sorry. I'm laughing so much, but it's just so funny you actually think I'm here for romantic advice. And not that I blame you. For a while there, I also thought that was the root of my troubles. Like, maybe I was just sad all my friends were getting into romantic relationships, except for me.
Karkat folds his arms as he waits for you to correct yourself. You stifle a chuckle. These two are cute.
Or, platonically cohabitational relationships in your case?
Correct. That is definitely all that it is.
Right. But like I was saying, I'm not here because of your rom-com prowess.
I don't know if you've noticed, but my rom-com prowess is the only redeeming quality I have left. Everyone else is either a god or reviving my entire species, or whatever inane bullshit Terezi is up to. I'm just bootleg troll Will Smith from Hitch.
Be so hard on yourself, Karkat. You're a good guy.
You slap him on the shoulder in a way that only someone who has forgotten how to interact with friends in person can. He nonetheless seems reassured by your bizarre and fake display of familiarity.
Well, what are you here for then? What do you need to tell me?
Well, you're actually the first one to find out about this, but...
This is it, the moment you've been waiting for. Step 2 of your delicate and labyrinthine two-step plan. The hours and upon hours of prep work are finally about to play off. And just like you planned, the words come out nice and smooth. Mostly.
I'm transgender. I'm a girl. Surprise!
The word hangs in the air as in a nearly unprecedented event. Karkat is left speechless. Your heart is sending your blood racing through your veins now. You did it. Your beautiful, terrible plan is complete.
Huh.
Huh?
Yes, huh. It's an ancient Alternian proverb that means I am literally the least equipped person on this planet to be processing this information right now.
He takes a seat on the couch, still deep in thought, and you follow, hearing a crunch as your butt crushes a few stray bits of popcorn. You are starting to think you should have planned a step 3. You aren't looking forward to having to justify yourself unscripted.
I know it must seem like it came out of nowhere, and maybe you think I'm crazy, but...
Calm your tits, John. Wait, fuck, that's a male human name, isn't it? Have you picked a female one?
Oh geez, you were supposed to say that already. You guess the nerves did actually manage to mess up the way your little speech was supposed to go. This next part shouldn't be hard. It was part of the plan in the first place, but with the moment passed, the words come out slower.
I was thinking... June?
Alright, cool. Like I was saying, calm your tits, June.
You can't believe that is the first sentence anyone else has ever used your name in. I mean, you don't even really have... Nope. You refuse to finish that thought right now.
I know I'm an alien, but I've been around your kind long enough to realize this is one of those things you don't just fuck around with. If you say you're a woman named June, you're a fucking woman named June.
Aww.
You feel a little twinge of relief as you hear exactly what you needed to hear. You can feel the goosebumps come and go on your arms as Karkat continues to sit there with a look of mild consternation.
So, why do you look so hesitant?
He puts his hand together and rests them on his face as he tries to compose the words. He stands back up and starts to pace a bit, which should make you nervous, but instead seems wholesome, as if he's trying to get it right for your sake.
Wow. I'm honored, I guess, that you trust me enough to tell me about this. But no offense, June. By which, of course, I mean no offense to me. But why on earth, am I the first person you wanted to tell? Have you considered telling, no, I don't know, literally every other one of your friends that is still breathing? I mean, seriously, those brain-dead fucking salamander neighbors of yours would make a better audience for this than I would.
Little does he know, he's already answered his own question.
You know what, Carcat? You're right. And that's exactly why you had to be the first one.
He just stands there, unblinking, with the same mildly peeved look he might give you if you told him that Troll Nicholas Sparks movies are overrated.
You're gonna have to rewind that tape for me, June. I am 100% lost right now.
The reason is convoluted, which even you are self-aware enough to grasp. All the tossing and turning you did in your bed, holding yourself up in your room, even more than usual, gave you way too much time to overanalyze how you would finally express yourself to your friends. The perfect coming out scenario seemed like it was in front of you, but no matter how far you ran, it was always just out of reach. So you decided to walk backwards.
I've been so worried about getting this right. Worried that I'll blow my only shot at being open and introspective for once. There's so much pressure for this to go perfectly.
And the perfect scenario is telling me?
Oh, God, no. I'm not that dumb. You said it yourself. You're the worst friend I could tell.
Wow, really, June? I'd say this is the angriest I've ever been to have someone agree with me, but...
He stops to breathe, and you can almost see the rage leaking out of him. He sighs.
But this probably doesn't even crack the top 10. Anyways, I'll take the bait. Why aren't you telling anyone else? There's better people in this house for you to have a coming out party with.
He means Dave, of course, but Dave couldn't be the first to know. You couldn't tell any of your friends but Carcat. And why not? Because everyone else actually makes sense to talk to. Dave, Rose, Jade, Roxy, Terezi, and the rest. They each had a compelling argument as to who should be the first to find out. You even considered sending a bunch of letters simultaneously. But those ideas were too sensical, too logical, too good. Whenever you tried to commit to one, you'd be racked with guilt, wondering if one of the alternatives was better. That uncertainty gnawed at you for weeks until you finally snapped. You realized that the only way out was to embrace failure.
It wouldn't have worked. Just trust me.
So why me? Or at least why not me?
Well, you're my friend, but we don't interact much without Dave around.
You don't interact much, period.
I'm working on it. But you're also from an alien society that, for all I know, has a completely different relationship to gender. When people find out how you were the first one I told, they're gonna think it was a crazy bad idea.
This helps you how?
Because it's the idea that's bad. By coming here at all, I failed before I could even begin.
So?
You grin and push your glasses up on your face. Your eyes light up as you revel in your masterstroke of stupidity.
So now I can't feel, because I already did. Zero possibility for success means zero pressure to succeed. So the actual telling you part was a piece of cake, just like I planned.
As you bask in the glow of examining your awful machinations, you expect Carcat to roll his eyes and groan. Instead, the look on his face seems almost proud.
Wow, June. Personal salvation through meaningless self-sabotage. Sounds like you graduated from the Vanta School of Thrillingly Obtuse Coping Mechanisms. You'll get your diploma in the mail in 6 to 8 sweeps.
He smiles a rare, genuine smile as he shakes his head. And you smile back. He sits back down next to you on the couch, and his hand glances off yours. Your first contact with another person in what must be months. To your surprise, he doesn't pull his hand back. Carcat must have acclimated to this kind of casual contact after all the years of living with Dave. He speaks up after seeming to reminisce for a bit.
God, we're both so monumentally idiotic.
And hey, it worked, didn't it? I didn't run away or have a panic attack or anything.
I'm glad it went so well for you. But this is just coming across like you told me as a practice run because you care the least if our friendship is destroyed.
Oh, don't beat yourself up like that. If anything, I was the most confident our friendship would last through this.
Really?
Yeah, we've been through more awkward situations than that. Cal, remember the first time you talked to me?
Karkat grabs the bridge of his nose, clearly sensing a headache coming on.
I was hoping that particular memory rotted away during your self-imposed house arrest.
Hey, Carcat, that reminds me. Want to hear something funny?
If that reminds you, then hell the fuck no, June. I do not want to hear something funny.
Well, I'm a girl, and I'm attracted to girls.
The smirk on your face right now could outshine the green sun with its sheer gumption. Karkat has already closed his eyes in anticipation.
So guess what?
Oh god, stop. I was 6 weeks old. Please have some mercy.
As it turns out, I am homosexual.
Karkat grabs a pillow and buries his face in it with such a swift fashion that it seems like an instinct, as if his very survival hinged on nobody seeing him get embarrassed. It's amusing, the way he kicks his stubby legs around when he gets like this. After a few outsized groans, he finally lifts his head.
Wait a second, is that how it works?
Yep.
Damn, all these Earth labels are confusing. This is why the quadrant system is the superior romantic framework.
Sure.
Things go quiet for a bit. You glance at the TV screen, still playing that shitty Alternian rom-com. The two of you watch in silence as Troll Tom Hanks and Troll Meg Ryan start another argument, each unaware that the other is the person they fell in love with over Trollian. The plot seems especially contrived, given the way trolls type in their blood colors, which seems to limit how secret an online identity can be. To your surprise, Karkat breaks the silence first. His voice is almost quiet.
So is that it? Is that really all you came here to do? Gloat about your newfound homosexuality?
What do you mean?
I don't know. Do you want to talk about it?
You've never seen Karkat with this serious of a look on his face. Even when doling out sincere, romantic advice, he always gives off the impression that it's beneath him, like he's being forced into it. But now he's staring you directly in the eyes. No grumpy arc to his eyebrows. No ridiculous frown. He reaches out to touch your forearm and holds onto you more fervently than you expect.
I don't mean to push you into anything you don't want to do. And I know I might not be the most help with this gender business. But I was thinking, we could try anyway? There's no way you feel ready to talk to anyone else yet, given the way you twisted your logic into a fucking dope spiral to avoid them.
He has a point, but you can't bring yourself to admit it, but he does. You have no plan who to tell next, or even what to do next. Having someone to talk to would really help, but there's something going unsaid here. There's a real force behind Karkat's words now that you don't understand.
I mean, I'd love to, and you're right that I'm scared to tell more people. But where's all this coming from?
A pause. Karkat pulls his hands back into his own lap.
I think...
Another pause. He pulls his knees up to his chest and looks down.
I think I know how you feel.
Now that blindsides you. The reason you're here in the first place is that Karkat should relate to your situation the least out of anyone. What could he have gone through that's even remotely similar?
How I feel? Are you saying you...
No, June, I'm not trans.
There goes your only guess.
But stop me if I'm wrong. You feel like you can't tell anyone even though literally nobody cares? You hate yourself for thinking this is so important to you while at the same time lamenting that it's so important to everyone else?
How?
Hey, you wish your friends would just start guessing what your deal is, while at the same time fearing that they'll find out before you're ready?
If you didn't know any better, you'd think he could read your mind.
That's it exactly. Karkat, how the fuck do you know all this?
I know what it's like to have to hide who I am on the inside.
He is almost mumbling. You didn't think Karkat could mumble.
Or, technically, what I have on the inside.
You finally realize what he's talking about. To you, it's something so trivial that you don't even remember where you first learned it. But to him, it's something that defined his entire life.
Your blood.
Karkat nods. He can't stand to look at you as the story starts to fall out of his mouth. How he got one tiny cut when he was barely out of the brooding caverns, and instantly knew he'd spent his whole life hiding. How crying a single tear could get him cold. How he wanted so desperately to be normal, or to at least not to be alone. How much it meant to him when he found out that his sessions Jack Nor was the same way. How much it hurt when the rest of his friends went through with their plan to exile the guy anyways. And how devastating it was when his dream self finally awoke, only for your universe's Jack Nor to leave him bleeding. His filthy, disgusting, candy-red mutant blood as Prospect was destroyed. The tears you let out surprise even you. It's only one or two, and you feel a strange guilt you aren't crying more, but it's the first time you've cried in a very long time. His story finished, Karkat finally turns to look at you. You want to thank him for telling you something so personal, but there's a part of his story he skipped that you need to know about. You can't stop yourself from asking the same question.
So, if you don't mind me asking, who was the first person you told? About your blood color, I mean.
He returns his gaze forward, twiddling his thumbs nervously.
It might technically be you?
Wait, what?
Don't misunderstand, literally everyone already knew. But it wasn't something I told people. I just all found out eventually because I'm the worst piece of shit in all of Paradox Space at keeping secrets.
You piece it together. You came here to come out to Karkat, but he just hit you with a reverse retroactive coming out reach around. You should feel honored, but you have far too many questions.
What held you back from telling people? I get that it was a bad idea on your old planet, but why not now? None of your friends care anymore.
Ha! Sounds pretty fucking familiar, doesn't it? Tell me, June, how many of our friends honestly give a shit what your gender is?
That's not the... Okay, yeah, that's actually super the same.
You laugh to yourself. Your worries haven't gone away yet, but in this moment, from afar, they do seem rather silly.
Well, geez, you've already helped me way more than I thought you would, Karkat.
Gee, thanks for the glowing fucking endorsement, June.
Any last piece of advice? I'd really like to hear them.
The troll hangs his head, like he's ashamed of what he has to say.
I don't have any profound wisdoms I learned in my stay in the blood color closet, June. In fact, all I've got is insultingly facile.
I don't care how stupid it is.
You put a hand on his shoulder, wanting to make completely sure he understands your sincerity.
Tell me anyway.
He takes a deep... Oh, no, that's you.
He takes a deep, deep breath. The kind he takes before only the most long-winded and profane of his signature rants. But his words come out softer and gentler than you've ever heard him before.
Just tell your friends. Tell them on your own terms and at your own pace. But tell them. Don't just let them find out. Otherwise, that uncertainty about how they feel starts to fester.
You smile. You're starting to understand why the other trolls look to Karkat as the leader. When his heart is in it, he gets one hell of an inspiring speech. Thinking a salute would be too weird, you settle for a smile and a nod.
I will, Karkat.
The two of you sit there quietly after that, watching the movie play out, content to just have each other's company for a bit. You share what little of the popcorn was still in the bowl after you scared him, watched through the credits. The DVD menu loops a few times before either of you speak.
So, think you're ready to tell more people right now?
Not quite yet. But I'm a lot closer than I thought I'd be after telling you.
In that case, you better go going soon. Dave will be back any minute.
You both stand up. As well as your terrible plan went, you're not ready to tell Schreider yet. You want to walk towards the door and find your way back home, but you stop and turn to your friend.
So, before I go,
Yeah?
I just wanted to say that I'm really glad I talked to you first. This actually ended up being a really solid idea.
I know that wasn't your plan, so I'm sorry if I disappointed you.
Thank you, Carcat.
Yeah. Thanks, June. Hello?
Oh, oops, sorry, I was muted there.
No, it's alright.
You start to turn away, but something in Carcat's eyes compels you to stop. It's hard to notice in the dim lighting, but his cheeks are filled with just a hint of red. The most emotionally repressed person you know just shared a moment with you, and he actually lets you see him blushing. Like hell, you're gonna leave without giving that friend a nice big hug. Carcat feebly flops his arms around you in resistance at first, but as you maintain pressure, he slows down, before finally wrapping his arms around you. The warmth surrounds you, a fledgling trans girl, and a grizzled former outcast, as you share the joy of finally telling someone you trust. You have no idea how long you've been holding a hug when you hear the front door open, as the other man of the house makes his return.
Hope you've been keeping that lap warm, babe. Because your boy's gonna need some serious platonic cuddle action after that fucking disaster of a party.
He's still around the corner. He has to make it through the kitchen table before he can see you. You know you should just scram, drop the hug, retcon, zap yourself out. Do something to get out of this situation. Your body feels locked in place. You aren't ready to tell him yet, so why can't you leave?
Egbert ditched me again, which shouldn't be news, but come on, man. Next time I see that depressed dork, remind me of giving a piece of my...
He rounds the corner and sees the two of you, still locked in a tight embrace. He stops. You lift your eyes from the hug to look directly at his shades. For what you assume are ironic reasons, he's wearing a party hat around his nose and mouth like a beak. You don't say anything. You can't.
John? What the fuck?
Excellent.
Oh my god,
What
that was
the-
really
what the heck?
good. Also, there is a sequel to this, I think.
Yeah, there's I think there's 4 fics in this series.
Yeah, it's a quadrennial.
Sorry, that played late. I was supposed to...
Nice. You were in your feelings and you didn't get it out in time. It's fine. That was really good. I really like that.